So this is a video for when your life's a bit of a mess. These times happen in our life, don't they? Sometimes we make them happen, sometimes they just happen. Things fall apart, things get chaotic. What you might find is that when loved ones have died, you've lost your job, things, you just have to move house, things like when that happens, you might need a different kind of practice. Maybe your practice is generally kind of very expansive and up in the air and lots of back bends. You might not need that. For me, when my life's a mess, when I go through those periods of my life, really focusing on stability. So I'm bending my knees, I'm practicing postures where I'm squatting down. We have this posture, for example, in EYP, which is earth posture or ground posture, yeah? So it's really focusing on the down, focusing on my solidity, any posture that you're doing exactly. So something like, a nice triangle, where you're really focusing on the exactness of the posture. So it's not just what postures you do, it's how you do them, yeah? So let's say I'm doing, postures on the ground are nice when things are a bit chaotic, because you can get stable on the ground. So 4-legged postures are more stable than 2. So I quite like things like this, doing a bit of cat-cow, but it's how you do it. So doing it in a stable, organized way and creating a little bit of stability physically, mentally, emotionally in your own life. In terms of breathing, I'm probably gonna keep with the belly breathing rather than the more sort of, I'm probably gonna avoid that kind of chest breathing and do more of a kind of slow belly breath. I'm gonna focus on slowing down and being organized, being balanced. Balance, like this is a nice balanced posture. As opposed to say, a one-sided one, something like this is going to access vulnerability a lot more. But a nice, solid posture where I feel stable, where I can reconnect to my own resources of competence, where I focus on self-regulation rather than excitement or expression. For me, that's key. So if your life is a bit of a mess right now, I hope this helps. So those basic postures of the ground, more grounded, the more stable. Sometimes a bit of letting go is helpful, like a child's pose or a standing forwards bend if you prefer, where you're, that's nice, where you're letting go and saying, it's okay, yeah? Self-care posture, really important one. We can't control everything in life, but being able to care for ourselves within that. You could completely go the other way and just do a really chaotic yoga practice and just get used to it, but normally there's enough chaos. If there's too much chaos in your life generally, I would say preparing for chaos before it happens, you can do that. That's another practice. If you're watching this in chaos, then do this. Do the nice stable stuff, do the self-care stuff, the letting go. If your life's very stable and orderly, you might want to go the opposite way and actually make your practice kind of more chaotic and more creative and actually get used to that energy, get used to be able to handle that. I actually have students stand and do a posture and then 2 or 3 people poke them and move them around, like, to get used to life, because that's what life is, But if you're already in that, you don't need extra, yeah? You don't need extra. So you might want to do these kind of slowing down, grounding practices. If your life's not chaotic right now, then just save this for another time, because that's life. It will be sooner or later, right? No matter how much, we can't control life. Change is the only consistent thing. So I hope this is useful. Please take it, use it. It's basically embodied yoga principles type work. If you're interested in that, then just search the other YouTube videos for that. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. More importantly, however, get the newsletter. So the newsletter you do, is that right? In the box here? Okay. So why you would want the newsletter, so you hear about the best videos, so you actually ask me questions, you can reply to the newsletter, I'll reply. You can hear about events, teacher trainings, other things that are happening and stay in touch more reliably. So newsletter there.